Should I just drop the replay in chat, or I
That's
could
total.
also
Yep,
stream it?
that's totally fine. Usually I drive, but if there's things that you remember about the match that you want to go over, I'm cool with you sharing screen. It's totally up to you.
No, it's cool. You can drive.
Cool. So, just bringing this up on my screen, and I am curious. Let me now just quickly share my monitor. I always like, sometimes I like looking at the game stats, but I don't really see anything too useful here. What I can see is that you actually won, like, in terms of the neutral wins. Let me see here. So you actually won a majority of the neutral wins, but it seems like they just, like, outpunished you, like, severely. From the
Yeah.
looks of it. Okay, gotcha. So that's not a terribly uncommon dynamic of this matchup, but do you think that there's going to be a lot of opportunities in the punish game?
Just in like general.
Yeah, just in general versus Sheik.
I mean, not really.
Okay, so you think your punish game is like already really good on her?
I mean, or in terms of like, there's definitely room for improvement if that's what you're asking. I mean, like it just seems like it's a hard character to hit.
Gotcha. So it's
At
more
least from
other
my perspective.
problems.
Yeah, yeah, maybe.
Okay, cool. So let's take a look at this. So let's play. And why is it not playing? So I've got it on 80% speed. Is this good with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just I find it's easier to follow along. So this all makes sense. Why up tilt there?
Um, I don't know. I just thought it would hit.
I mean it will, but like there's other things you could hit. That's my point.
Um,
Why is this being...
well,
Yeah.
I guess usually when they're on the platform, I try to uh tech chase, but to be honest, versus Sheik, I'm not too confident in what percents are going to knock down and when I should really be going for like maybe short hop up air versus up tilt, or I mean at higher percents I'll probably be going to try to hit with F smash, but I think that's also kind of a effect of um uh I feel like Sheik doesn't really get to the platform very often. Like that's a very, I don't know, almost like a niche situation.
I'm not sure I agree with that. Like,
Okay.
so you're saying it's a niche situation that Sheik DIs Marth's up throw onto the platform early?
I mean, I guess not early. I feel like, well,
Like
yeah. I
what?
guess in this specific situation, yeah, yeah. Okay. That's whatever. True. I find that like uh my mind is more. I guess It'd be more accurate to say I find that like I'm
You normally like
more
F
focused on
throw?
the yeah, or not even that. I feel like just off of up throw, like my mind is always just in like, all right, it's like shark situation. Like I don't really have much like true combos to go off here, so I'm gonna try and just get her above me, and we're gonna kind of play like a very like
Mm-hmm.
ambiguous, kind of like amorphous punish game where I'm just trying to shark her.
Okay, fair enough. So, upon her hitting this platform, let's think about this, because like you said, it's amorphous, and I don't think that
Mhm.
amorphous is really what we're going for with Marth usually. Um,
Okay.
like it can be good to be freeform, but I think that she in particular is a character where you are not rewarded for that all the time.
Mhm.
Like she's kind of slippery. So let's talk about this scenario in general. So we know that her percentage, because she's at 8, means that unless you tip the up tilt, you're not really getting anything off of like an individual hit. Can you and I
Mhm.
agree? Do you think that's like, is that something that's non-controversial, or do you have a different take?
No, I'd agree with that.
Okay, cool. So in that case, I view us as having a few options here. First option is we just don't do this turnaround. Once we up tilt, and once we up throw her, and we know that she's going to go on the platform, we wave dash here.
Hmm.
Because then you're like able to tip if she rolls to either side of the platform. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. We can still hit her if she goes in place. So that's one option. The other one that I find that the drawback, of course, is that like it's kind of because we're tipping the up tilt on either side of her. it's kind of easy for her to slide off, I think, because it doesn't pull her in. The tipped up tilt, I believe, is hits up and forward, so it's a pretty easy for her to like slide off and get out of here. And we've committed to up tilt, so that's a pretty big commitment. The other option that stands out to me is we just aerial. We aerial anyway. Now, the reason I'm thinking aerial anyway is with where Sheik is on the platform, if you hit a late descending aerial, do you think that she can counter hit you?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, and is it generally good for Sheik to be above you?
Yeah.
Right. So like let's make a diagram. So we're gonna use this for the stage feature. It's this for the stage, just because it's bright and easy to see. So with this being like the platform area, what I want to know is what happens to her if we hit her with our say if we short hop here, like we're here, we short hop going this way, maybe like that. I don't know. What happens if we hit her with like late neutral air, like nair, like the second hit of nair going forward? Where do you think what do you think happens to her afterwards?
Late hit.
So
we're
like
jumping forward and she was rolling in that direction.
Yeah, like we nair her forward basically.
I mean, that sends her off stage. Well, not off stage, but
yeah, not at 8.
Closer to being off stage, yeah. But
she,
we're putting in the right direction.
Yeah, we're putting her from here to here basically. She's actionable pretty quickly, but we're hitting her forward, and we auto cancel on landing as well. So we're both kind of like we kind of keep her in the position she doesn't want to be in, but we move her towards the center of the platform, so slide off and things like that are harder. And we also ensure that, yeah, like we can't get punished directly. Like if she shield drops, all we have to do is dash away or up tilt. And yeah, we probably punish her if she tries to like aggress on us in response. So that's one option that I think that makes some amount of sense. Can you think of anything else that we could do here that might also make sense?
I mean, with that kind of goal in mind, I feel fair could also maybe work.
Sure. How do you do the fair? Like, what are your thoughts on the fair?
I mean, I guess with a similar like intention of being actionable when you land, I mean, it would probably be, or well, closer when you land, I mean, I'd probably do like a late-ish fair.
Okay. Cool. So would you jump like more in place then?
Yeah, I guess I would have to.
Yeah. So yeah, you jump like more like this, and then you do the fair like that, kind of, right?
Yeah.
So this being like the outer edge being the tip. The other thing the other thought I had, if you do this jump, the reason I really like this, because yeah, if you push her forward, then she can't slide off either. So she's trying to slide off. A lot of times they wind up like buffering sidestep or buffering spot dodge because of like the held input, because it's C-stick down plus like, you know? So it winds up kind of working out for you. The other cool thing that you can do here is if you use this jump here, the one where you go forward, you could still do that kind of push fair here. If she rolled to the edge, like you can kind of react, and if not, you can like up air over here, because if your up air hits more behind you than in front of you. So you kind of have like a lot. I'm not sure I like that one quite as much, just because again, slide off, she can't like punish us from slide off, but like it is a consideration. On the other hand, you might argue like by you going here and her drifting this way, maybe we just tipper her. Maybe we just tip her F smash after the slide off. Because if she's going here and we're over here and we're landing over here to finish, that's, it's a trap we can consider. Either way, though, I think the way that you've got the right idea. The way that we look at this position is that we're either pinning her here by hitting her efficiently to keep her in this place, and then we're like playing the advantage state after, or what we're doing is we're trying to like punish a particular like defensive habits that she might have in this situation by like poking her and then seeing if she like bites on something. This up tilt unfortunately doesn't really like work. This up tilt doesn't really work for doing either of those things, because it's just the wrong percent for that. Like it's just a percentage issue. Had you tipped it, it might have worked, but I find tipping out of like these ground bounces kind of awkward. Because she's like the thing here is that like when she hits the platform, her body like bounces around a lot, like with any no tech animation. So you had to do the up tilt like here.
Yeah.
Because then it would have like I noticed that you're kind of like you don't act right away out of up throw on her in general. Do you know when you can like this one was fast, but when she goes behind you, there's like a lot of you seem a lot more uncomfortable.
I feel like that's a good word for it.
Okay.
Yeah, I just like I said, it just I'm not saying it is amorphous, but it feels that way to me, just like the punish tree on Sheik. So like I feel like I'm doing a lot of waiting and trying to react to what they do. Whereas like when I'm playing like against like Fox, I feel like I have very like concrete like I throw him at this percent and I do like or I attempt to like exactly do this thing like every time depending on like what he does, sort of like thinking.
Gotcha. So if you had to take a guess, at what percents would you say up throw up tilt does work on Sheik?
Probably I'm guessing like some low percent, so like I don't know, like 8 to 15 is my guess.
We could do it that way. Alternatively, we could check.
Yeah, that's
I'd have to close this, but I have Uncle Punch. If you want, I can quickly check. Or can you do it?
I can also do it. I was just gonna Google it.
Nice. Yeah, like knowing this type of stuff like a little more concretely, I think would go a long way because, yeah, like this one, you're almost waiting till she's out of, like she's almost actionable by the time you actually go for the up tilt. Like, she's all the way, I think she's actually exited stun at this point. So let's go back 1 second. We need 10. Like, yeah, I think that like you had to do it here, because she's gonna be, or like the frame before, because I think that she's actionable. Yeah, she's not following her natural jump trajectory, like the natural like hit trajectory anymore.
All right, so 22 to 30% is when up throw up tilt is a true combo.
22 to 30%. I see. Okay, so she's a little below. She's at 20. But at the same time, like we can see that like this up tilt is still being done like very, very late because I don't think they jump perfectly either.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is like the closer we get to like acting immediately with that up tilt out of it, even if it's not true, I imagine the direction of her jump probably matters at least somewhat. And even if we miss, she still has to go through her reach the peak of her double jump, and then she has to fall. So the sooner we do it, the better. You know what I mean? Because that means that if we miss, then we can still act on the next play. So I guess with that one, I would say just like knowing that like bit of percent range, like I think the real value of it is we know that like she can get out of it earlier, but yeah, like it's still probably worth going for a pretty broad range, just because if she jumps to avoid it, we can still like play that. But we want to go quicker. I think one of the big things with Marth in this matchup is the idea that you're like you're covering one jump, like you're positioning your up tilt or your up air or your fair so that if she jumps or whatever, you kind of like hit her. Sorry, if she jumps if she doesn't jump, you just hit her, and if she does jump, you're able to land or jump again to get to like chase her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. So, how do you feel about this spot?
Very bad.
So, no, like don't say that if it's just because you failed the edge guard. Don't tell me that. But like, how are you generally about like edge guarding her here?
I just find it's difficult. I mean, I feel like I have no idea where she's gonna land after she poofs. Like I've practice edge guarding her in like Uncle Punch and stuff, and like I feel like there's definitely places where I can improve in like trying to watch where the poof goes. It feels like the way like the save state I have is like set up, like I can do that. But generally, like I feel like my like I'm not really sure like when to act or like what the like I feel like I try to hold edge, and then if she poofs on the stage, I try to like get on stage and then hit her. But generally, like it's definitely kind of like a nervous like, all right, what do I do situation for me.
Okay. Would you like to get better at it?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, cool. So let's break this one down. So, Sheik has just double jumped. So let's grab some information here. So this is where she is here, about like this high, is the peak of her double jump. So that's important for us to know. So I'd say it's about like yay high. So what this means for us is that Sheik here, who we will denote with, she can be pink. Sheik can reach about that high from her starting point here with her double jump. She actually started the jump a little lower, so it's actually down here. So like if we want a more like accurate representation of the actual range on it, it's like more like this. So with this in mind, we can agree that she has to up B to make it back, right? Yeah, like she can't air dodge that high. How high do you think her air dodge takes her? Like assuming that her body is like kind of like this, like these are her legs and this is her head. Where do you think her air dodge puts her?
I mean, probably right about at the edge.
Yeah, like her head's probably like sticking above it, but like her body's not above it, right? Like kind of like this. So this distance here is about her air dodge. So she has to up B. Like the purpose of like this line of understanding this distance is that she absolutely has to up B. The thing about Sheik is she's always trying to find ways of not having to up B if she can. So like by understanding where her like air dodge takes her and stuff like that, that helps a lot because it means that you can kind of understand where like, and for if she went full forward, it would probably be around here. So from this original point, like this is kind of like the range that she can move in either direction, whether she goes this way or whether she goes up. So, and then, you know, the diagonals are just like in between that and such. So knowing this, do you know, when is Sheik's up B invincible?
I have no idea. I imagine it's it feels like when she poofs, that's when it starts, but or maybe a little bit before, because I know there's like a little animation into it.
Yeah. So there's about there's slightly over a quarter of a second that she's vulnerable before she actually she actually enters the poof and disappears. So the first 17 frames of her up B are punishable. So, knowing this, she's just used her double jump, and we can confirm that she's coming up. Now, you can't really see because of this stage, but, like, you see how her legs are sideways here? That's when she becomes invincible. So we could have actually back aired her out of this. Like, we could have definitely back aired her out of this.
Yeah.
Or down aired, honestly, because she's, like, down here somewhere. So if you come up with down air, yeah, that will also kill her. Falling off with fair will also get her. It's kind of sucks this is Pokemon staining because it's hard to see here. Yeah. But you see what you should be able to see what I mean here actually, or on the next one. So right now she is vulnerable. I think you do go for the back air, you just go too low.
Yeah.
So when you let go of the edge for this one, are you fast falling?
No, I think well, in this specific situation, I'm not really sure, as in this time, but I feel like if I'm trying to get off edge, I usually hit back.
Gotcha, because it just looks like back, double jump immediately, back air her, and she should be dead. So I
was probably just slow.
Yeah, so how do we know that she's going to do the up B here? Like, let's walk through, like, the situation that came before that, when you hit her off with this, how do you know when she's gonna, like, how do you think we can tell when she's gonna up B?
Well, once she's below, well, I mean, one, she's gotta be below edge. Well, doesn't need to be, but 2, look for the double jump. 3, she's not close enough to air dodge.
Yeah, and here's my question. So if we know that she cast to up B here anyway, why don't we just hit her now?
I don't know. I think my brain is kind of just like, all right, I grabbed edge, and like she's got to land on stage or go to edge and then die. So I feel like I mean, concretely, there's no reason why we can't just do it. Yeah.
Okay, so what do you think you were thinking at this moment?
I'm just holding edge and praying that she tries to go to edge.
Okay. But we know that she doesn't have to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because this was definitely a free kill. So I think the way that we think about it is, let me think about the distance. So with Sheik in this picture, if she just up B's, will she snap to the edge with the first part? It goes like here.
I guess no.
Yeah, you're right. So, and when she's here, similarly, like knowing that she won't snap the edge if she goes there, do you think that's an important piece of the puzzle, I guess? Because like that means that she has to go through the full up B animation, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, I guess. I mean, can you react in time to like see that she has to fall to edge?
What do you mean?
I guess like I'm trying to understand the importance of her snapping to edge or not.
Oh, okay. So if she can snap to edge, what I would say is that it changes how you have to time your edge release and your double jump. Because if she can snap to the edge with the opening hop of her up B, then she can steal the edge from you potentially, depending on how you do your edge guard. So that would be one factor. Because of that, it means that like refreshing is going to be less good, but attacking if she comes up will be better. So that's like one dimension of it. The other thing here is if she can't snap to the edge because like here, like going from here to here, like if she has to go through the explosion where she disappears and reappears, then the next thing that's important is, does her initial hop put her above here? Because if it does, then she can try to steal it by going down diagonally, kind of like how foxes do it, right?
Yeah.
Because she can sweet spot. But if she has to go up like this, then she can't do that. She has to actually fall, because you can't grab the edge from a rising motion in this game. You have to begin falling. That's just the rule. So, yeah, I would say that her inability or ability to snap to the edge matters tremendously, because if the first hop of her up B it does not put her above like the stage line, then that means you know that she has to go up with it, which means that she's going to have a laggy animation. Even if she goes at the edge, she's still going to have to reappear, go through the process of reappearing, and then begin falling before she actually gets it. This also happens if she's at the stage line exactly, like if she's parallel with it, because what happens then is she then goes forward, reappears here, and then begins falling. So when people like say, oh, but I like sweet spotted because they like they went sideways and they reappeared here and got hit anyway, that's what's happening. That's why that happens. If they go up above it and go down, then they grab it while they're invincible, so that doesn't happen. So does that do those rules make sense, or like do you see why that's significant? Like, do you see how that can help us like decide what we're going to do? Because that gives us information about how laggy or not laggy she can potentially be.
Yeah.
Cool. So, how can we use this information? Because that's the $1 million question, right?
Yeah.
So, let's make some more lines on this map. I think that this one is obviously very important, because when she does her up B hop, if she finishes here, then that means she can go down and then like sweet spot, right? But if she finishes here, then she has to go up, can't sweet spot. So that I think is important. So where her up B where her up B starts is very, very important. Like where the hop of her up B, the first hop of her up B stops. That's very, very important because from here she can go diagonal. Here she can't. Here she also cannot sweet spot. Like at the stage line itself, she also can't do it. So any edge guard you do where you keep her from being able to up B like around here, like any up B she does that's above this line, those are the ones that are going to be trickier to edge guard. The ones that are down here are much easier.
Mm-hmm.
So, knowing that, what do you think we could have done differently? Like, if we look at this edge guard from the beginning, what's something that we could have done instead?
I could have just ran off.
Yeah, run off fair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that. That's such a good idea. Like, especially with where she's double jumping, like we could have just hung out here. Heck, even where we are, if we wave dash off and back air her here,
yeah,
like that also works. I love that play. So, and we now understand why that works because she's here. She's incentivized to up B to try to snap to the edge. Because her alternative doesn't really do anything. Like, it's move away. It's like she'd have to like up B this way. She can't air dodge. Like, yeah, this is absolutely a just hit her situation.
Yeah.
So in that regard, grabbing the edge was kind of like not ideal.
Mm-hmm.
Now here's the next question. So when she reappears here, what do you think do you think that the forward throw was the best play here?
No.
What would have been better?
So I feel like I'm trying to F smash, and if I know that they're an OMS attacker, then I mix it up with fair. I think I've also seen some marks do up tilt there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, one of those three options is usually what I feel like is ideal.
Yeah, I was gonna say this looks like an up tilt to me, because I think she even appeared to our side. So like with her being like over there, if we just up tilt her at 131 and while she's like hunched over, it's gonna hit the tip. It's gonna hit the tipper hitbox, and then just like kill her off the top anyhow. Because you know how his sword like kind of hits at this diagonal, right? Like it hits here.
Yeah.
The tipper is at the bottom, so like yeah, with her being hunched over, that actually works for us.
Cool.
Yeah, when she starts standing up, what the other thing you can do is, around here, if you turn around and up tilt, you'll get the sour spot, which hits her this way. So if she's an OMS attacker, it'll just proc the OMS attack, and if she's not, then you'll just, hit her with a reasonably powerful move. And probably kill her at this %. So that, I would say up tilting in this spot and getting used to that, something definitely worth looking into.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a little finicky. I think that the fair and forward smash are overall more consistent, but like up tilt's good here. When she lands like close to the stage.
Okay.
Yeah. With how she pulled back on that one too, like with where she started her up B, yeah, if she goes down to the edge like she did, then you can't do the you can't ledge hop back air defensively, like you can't do it near the edge because otherwise she just avoids it. I feel like we just SD'd like on like several edge guards. That's the dynamic I'm getting here. And now we're just flailing because she's lived through like repeated edge guards. Yeah, this is just like mashing kill moves at this point. So I think that we have a lot to work with here because like this is like knowing the rules of how her up B works and having some basic ideas on how to address it more aggressively. I think that'll help you quite a bit. Do you have a Sheik player that we can play against?
Still working on it. The guy who I set up for this fell through on me, so I'm trying to find somebody melee online. Me at them one more time and see if somebody answers my plea.
Sure. Yeah, I feel like this match was just like, oof. And I see.
Yeah.
Why are you trying to go high against Sheik?
Like
after you get hit by this, why are we double jumping here? I'm thinking we go low. Cuz what do you do against this? You don't have anything.
Yeah.
She's kind of weird. She's kind of weird because you're actually safer when you. So let's actually talk recovery for a second while you're pleading, I guess. So if we look at the structure of this combo as she's putting you off stage, so she hits you with this, and then hits you with this. Now here's my thinking. The thing that she can do that's scariest here, in my opinion, is shoot a needle down, because that's something I used to do. It's very good. It covers Marth going low, and then allows you to kind of kill him. But I don't think I've ever seen anyone other than me do that. So whatever. But the point, except Plup and Jmook, but they do everything. It's fine. They don't count. So the reason I like doing that is she's gone for this edge grab, right? So let's think about what would happen if instead of going for this high thing, we also fell with her. She's grabbed the edge kind of early. We still have our double jump down here. She has to refresh at some point. We have the opportunity to try to steal the edge from her. We have the opportunity to recover on stage based on her cliff weight thing. Based on landing in the cliff weight frame, so she doesn't get something super big. We have a lot of good options here, and we also have the ability to stall and try to hit her out of something, stall it with her jump and side B to try to hit her out of this, out of an overly aggressive edge guard attempt, because we have a lot of range down, we have a lot of time down here if we go here. And I feel by playing into her back air, by playing into this upper area, we don't really have anything that deals with invincible back air. The thing that we need to do most, maybe this works if you side B here instead of air dodge to go over, to try to hover over this, hover over her ledge hop back air, but it feels like she's just gonna then land on stage and do another one. I guess you could maybe counter, but this gets really, really sketchy really fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess if you can side B over this, and then fast fall after, maybe you can do it. But I just feel like you don't have the height for that. You don't have the right spot positioning for that. Although, yeah, if you side B here, you're just gonna get hit by her. She hits too high because you're gonna go forward here, where her back exactly where her boot hits.
Yeah.
So yeah, you just don't have the height, I think. So I think that if you can't hover over her ledge hop back here, you have to go you're kind of forced to go low, kind of. That
makes sense to me.
Yeah. Any luck with Melee Online or?
No, it's not looking But I mean, I can just open unranked and spam people until I find one.
I mean, worst case scenario I could play, but I haven't played Sheik in years, so I don't know if it'll be any good for practice.
Let's see. And you need that spectator code, right?
Oh well, no, I would give you mine. So.
Okay.
Yeah, let me pass that to you. That said, the only other thing I want to kind of advise on. So Sheik's legs will be sideways. So if her legs will be completely sideways when she becomes invincible. Whenever she's when she's going up, as long as her normally when she's falling, her legs are kind of where you'd expect. As they turn this way, that's when she's at this point. That's when she's invincible. Before then, though, you can totally hit her. So that would be kind of one thing that I would advise. And yeah, just I would be more I would be more aggressive. I would be more aggressive generally. Yeah, it's just kind of the same things we talked about before. Having confidence in your play is really just the best. No, having confidence in your play and going for it quickly is important. Just try to minimize the amount of opening you leave after. Go for prioritize efficiency, I guess is how I'd put it. Because you don't want to leave gaps for Sheik. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah. Your neutral didn't look bad though. Like the neutral looked okay. It's just, yeah, when we got hits, we got reversaled a lot. We died on an edge guard, and then when she hit us, we exploded. So
Yeah.
yeah. It's a bummer when players bail.
I know. Well, and a pretty good Sheik player. So.
Oh, who was it?
I mean, like for my region, I mean, their tag is JVG. I mean, they're not like good enough to be like notable in any sense, and I don't really think they compete too much anymore. But I've had some good sets with them in the past, so it's good from like a skill level match, because like I could probably ask some PR players, but I'd probably be thinking way too hard about just like not getting bodied to really focus on anything else.
Well, if we don't have any luck in like the next two, if in the next two queues, then I don't. Oh, perfect. Let's go.
Yeah. All right.
Cool. So remember, we just act right away.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nice try. You want to go lower so you grab. No, so if you're gonna try to steal the edge from her recovery, like from her up B, you have to like be very precise about it. Because remember, it's not till you start falling, so you want your like the peak of your up B to line up with the state with like the edge like very precisely.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you're very nervous for some reason. Because you're like running around and shielding. Just mentally reset. Just take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Let like, you know, relax. It's fine. Why are we shielding on tech chases?
I don't know. I guess I'm trying not to get up attack.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Just like you can't you can't be like compromising your like your whole game plan just for like one option.
Mm-hmm.
Nice ledge attack.
Okay, yeah.
They run encroach a lot.
I am, or they are?
They are.
Okay.
Why did we ledge attack there? Remember, there is merit in like the like, you know, let her land on stage hitter thing. That's good. Yeah, like there's like so okay, I get it. So the problem is we're not sure like where the two of them fit in. Are we?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So the letter on stage hitter thing is kind of like the thing that you use as your backup plan if you can't do the other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you use the other stuff to control space and, like, force her into that position, and then when she plays around the other stuff, then that means you can just force her on stage. So that's plan B. It's like it's the thing you expect you're gonna get, but you do the other stuff because they're higher reward. In case, yeah, it's just the second step of the plan.
Yeah.
Try to do your fast falling those backers for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Just try to tighten that up. Like, try to tighten the when you do the jump when you do the jump, just try to tighten that up after the ledge release, because that's why you're not able to land on stage and stuff. All right.
No jump.
Take a deep breath before you queue for the next game.
Yeah.
I can tell you're, like, very nervous. Just relax and just keep the ideas in mind, but don't, like, focus on them. Just focus on the game.
Yeah.
Like, just play. You will do the adjustments naturally, I promise. Nice.
Cool.
Backup plan. Okay, so when she runs in with crouch a lot,
I gotta grab.
Down air also works.
Oh, true.
This player's good, where they are.
Yeah.
What were you doing with that movement?
Good question.
Ah, so double poof. So when she does that double poof, she can only do it by, like, rising up with her, like, with the first hop of her up B, and then getting on the stage at the end of it. So you can just, like, just attack her. If she's going for that, you don't, like, play passive. You just attack her. Because you can attack her while she's going up with the up B pop. I get the impression you don't like cheese.
No.
You haven't
You're
like
right.
gone for a single you haven't gone for like YOLO forward smash once. You haven't tried to like just ledge hop spike her out of like a mistake. It's okay to go for that stuff. Like, it's okay to go for like ledge hop down here when she's like below her, when she's like right below you and stuff. Like it's an important part of, like, again, it covers that zone. It's a very important part of covering that zone.
Yeah.
Why would she not do all these like risky brave recoveries if you're not like threatening her with lethal when she sets them up?
Yeah.
So like it all fits together. Like, I'm like, why didn't we F smash there? Like, cause she
True.
landed on, she was gonna land on side platform, right? So
Yeah.
then knowing that, like, just I feel like you're just afraid to go. I feel like you're afraid to like go for finishers on her in general.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think that is?
Um, I just feel like um the risk reward in this matchup just feels horrible to me. From Marth's end. So like uh every time, I don't know, I get a hit, I feel like I have like kind of not super um what's the word? Like very concrete like punish ideas, whereas I feel like Cheek just kind of like kills me every time she touches me.
Okay, she touched you there, and you took like 14. So she
True.
doesn't kill you every time she touches you. I'm gonna tell you that
Yeah.
much. So like, I think it's because her end game is like simpler than yours, but like,
Mhm.
part of what's making that difficult is that you're not willing to go for your finishers.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be way hard. Like I agree, going for like random like Randy F smashes is not the way to play this matchup. Agreed, but like.
Mhm.
These are a lot of these are being offered to you in fairly controlled advantage state positions. Like we have to be willing to go for them, otherwise we can't set up good edge guards.
Mhm.
Or rather, it is very, very difficult to set up good edge guards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good use of like her cliff weight frames and her like where she had structured her ledge stall. F smasher. Like she was tilting in front of you for like 5 seconds. Like you could have just called her out at any point with it. Like yeah, we have to be we have bolder, braver.
Yeah. All right.
You got this.
Yeah.
But you see what I mean, right? Like it's just
Mhm.
because like the most impactful thing you can do for your game versus Sheik is be willing to just tell her to like tell her to stop with that nonsense and hit her.
Mhm.
What do you think the biggest thing holding you back is? I know you said that it's like the fear of the risk reward, but do you see how that fear is like causing you to lose opportunities that are critical to how your character deals with her?
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. Oh, they look like super lame too. Let's go. This is ideal. So, something I'm going to point out. You know how she had to like appear above the ledge because of her up E? You could have ledge hop up aired that.
Okay.
And then kept her in the air so she doesn't have her jump. Because that is a way that you can continue your offense and limit how much counterplay she has.
Mm. Oh.
Nice. See?
Yeah.
That felt good.
Yeah. Oh.
It's all good. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
She got you reaching.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, we went off aggressively. Very good. I really like how you like kind of like waited a bit before going off to like just make sure that your hit was aligned correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes dash attack is really good there when they jump out after the first hit, you know?
Yeah.
Like also like running forward smash. Because then she like, you tip her at like 35 and she explodes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully we can get another game with this person. Like another game or two. Take a deep breath though. I get the impression you're super nervous and I don't know why.
I'll stop spamming the games.
Hmm?
I'll stop spamming the start button.
No, it's okay. Like like just yeah. Why are you nervous? Like, are you nervous? Like, am I wrong?
Maybe a little. But
Why? Is it because I'm watching?
maybe. I can't really pinpoint why.
Okay. That's okay.
But it's not that big of a deal.
Okay. I hope it's not like you feel weird about like the player bailing. That's like not you at all.
No. Here, no, we're.
Okay, good. People think I'm some kind of ogre, and I don't know how I got that reputation. So I sometimes worry.
Okay.
I like that you dashed away out of that one, because yeah, from 0 to 7, I know they can nair you first, before the up tilt comes out.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, now that I have that percent in my head, I'm not really trying to go for it as much.
Yeah, so it's already just knowing that little bit has like changed your decision making a lot.
Yeah.
Love that. So yeah, we need to understand the stun on some of our moves a little bit better, like the weak up air, specifically up air and weak up air and fair. But I think that like in terms of like using your other like you comboing, you're doing a really good job of like punishing harder in general. Nice. Like when you put her on the platform, like yeah, you're doing a much better job of containing her. We need to figure out a better plan for the corner.
Definitely.
Low key, well, how do you feel about ledge hop counter?
I'm actually a proponent of it, I would say.
So she's like done tilts and stuff like every time we've come up. Like, do you think this could work on her?
Yeah, for sure.
Cool, let's give it a whirl. Nice.
Oh, got me. Yeah.
We'll play her again. As a mix-up to ledge hop counter, so ledge hop counter like kind of encourages her to wait, right? Let's also use down air in that spot.
From the edge?
Yeah, ledge hop down air. Go on and like, because the thing is, counter encourages them to wait, and what is the so if they're waiting, they're either going to be far away from you or they're going to be close to you. If they're close to you, they're going to be shielding or crouching. So down air is bad versus shielding, but your fair and nair are good versus shielding. So I get the idea here is we're kind of like conditioning them. Are we fighting Hungry Box?
I don't know. PC. Well, sometimes my Slippy has this weird like air it does where like sometimes it'll just like DC immediately. It's weird, but I guess we'll never know if that was actually Hungry Box.
Okay. I feel like we're just like spawning Hungry Box randomly. Can you imagine if Hungry Box was a random encounter?
Yeah.
Just like in
In
real
real
life.
Oh, wait, sorry, I didn't mean to hit this guy again. Oh. But yeah, that would be um out of all the top players, it's probably the most explosive
Why don't
random
we?
encounter to have.
If you want, why don't we go into direct? If you want, we can kind of like I can show you some of the stuff there, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll close out of this and I'll just give you my code. So this won't be like a real match, but like yeah, because I think that there's some concepts and that I think will help you, and that is really loud. So let me just fix that. Ow, my ears. All right, lower that down. There we go. That's better. And direct. Sheik. And then it would be, I see you've given it. Perfect. So why wrinkle? What does wrinkle come from?
So I was kind of like bouncing through a bunch of tags. I guess like in the when I first started playing, and our like local scene, the term smooth brained became very popular. So my tag being wrinkle was a response to that, pretty much. Like, since like people would kind of talk about like, oh, like you're smooth, like your brain's got like no wrinkles, and then I'd be like, when somebody did like something really smart, they'd be like, oh, I'm like so wrinkled out, you know, or I've got like a ton of wrinkles, and that's kind of just the birthplace of the tag.
Yeah. What the heck? Oh my gosh, how did my phone unlock itself? Whatever. Okay, so I guess in this matchup, the big thing here is like, so what parts of the Edgeguarding, you're still finding the Edgeguarding kind of tricky, right? Okay, so throw me like, if you hit me off stage, where do you think I'm, like here, like full charge tip or forward smash on me?
Alright.
Okay. So let's try to like get the tipper.
Oh.
So yeah, actually yeah, if you forward tilt me off stage, try to hit the edge guard.
So should I ran off there?
I think that the up air is fine. I think you had to tip it, or act immediately after it.
Okay, so you were too far that time.
Yeah. Too far. So remember, you have to hit me out of like the first hop, so it's like this distance. Like
okay.
Like, do you see where she turns her leg sideways? Like not here, but yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where your like distance is. So try again.
Okay.
Yeah. So now you get it. Okay, so I'm gonna die. Now you're gonna try it. You're gonna F tilt me again. Try this. No, now try it with like we're gonna do a closer recovery. You can see that like that's perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
F tilt me off again. Oh wait, sorry, taunting. So I can DI. Nope, tipper.
Oh.
Right. So. If I'm this close, you can totally do it. So here, grab the edge.
Yeah.
Grab it. No, grab edge.
Okay.
So then I'm gonna just like go off stage. Try to hit me out of the back air. Out with back air. Yeah, that's okay. Go again. It's hard, right?
Yeah.
You got it. Yeah, and try again. You can back air this. There you go. Do you see how the timing works a little bit more now? Try again. There you go. So this one, the other thing she might do is hug the wall. So down throw me, and then like what I'm gonna do, down throw me off the stage, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come up immediately. So then when I'm gonna come up immediately and double poof. What you have to do is you have to like hit me out of this as I'm coming up for the first up B warp. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right, try. No worries. Let's try to get this at least once, because this is important.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm messing up on my end too, but like, so what I would do is I would let go of the edge and fair, let go of the edge and fair, or double jump fair, something like that. even faster. Like, the name of the game here is speed. Ledge hop spike also works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, kind of like that, except you want to, like... Yeah, kind of like that. Same idea.
Yeah.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But it's just got to be faster before you're that high.
I wouldn't even ledge hop fair. I would fall off fair immediately.
Okay.
Like, but I have to be hugging it. I'm kind of at high percent, but, like, let's see if we can get this. There you go.
Cool.
So you can see where the utility of that is, right? Because
yeah,
it, like...
Definitely.
Yeah, because, like, even if she hits the tech, you can still continue the edge guard pretty reliably. That's, like, the real power of it. So let me just message the next person, tell them I'm a couple minutes late. Just need 1 to 2 minutes. Yeah, so with this structure, like, this is, I think that with her, it was kind of, like, not maybe the best move on my part to send you into, like, the trenches right away without, like, practicing some of this stuff, because she is, like, complicated. Like, she is, like, kind of, like, sensitive. Not complicated, but she's sensitive in terms of, like, what the timings are. She's very strict.
Yeah.
But having experienced them a little bit, the last thing I want to do is, like, hit me to about 20. Hit me to about 20 and then up throw me. So a lot of times what happens when you're playing is you'll hit, like, an aerial, and then you'll, like, I'll double jump out of, like, your air, up air. And then you'll go for, like, another aerial. Like, you'll go for that, but you'll full hop it. Let me fall into your short hop aerial, and you'll see, like, because you can see why, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have so much more control.
Close to the ground.
You can kind of dribble me, right?
Yeah.
So that's, like, really one of the big goals. Like, that is a key thing in this matchup that I think that, like, you full hop to meet her in the air. What I'm saying is, don't do that so much, because that's really dangerous. And it just doesn't really give you any reward. So I think that this might help. This will help you get finishers. This will help even out the risk reward so that it's a little bit more close to what the matchup actually is, and I think it'll give you opportunities to try the edge guarding stuff that we've worked on here.
Okay.
All right, I do have to go, but does all that make sense? Do you have any feedback for me? Anything?
No, that all definitely sticks. I've got a lot of stuff to work on.
Perfect. So I'll let you go. Wrinkle, it's always a pleasure. And, yeah, I'll see you in 2 weeks, but we'll touch base before then just to see how everything's going as usual.
All right, cool. Sounds good.
All right, later.
All right, see ya.